week on a Friday?
We really liked how we played both games. We felt like we were the better team for the majority of the weekend. Friday stings, obviously, when you have the lead late and you don't close it out, just like we did against Air Force and losing overtime. It's a real big stinger. I loved how we bounced back with the effort Saturday, and we ran into arguably the best goalie in the country, right? So it is what it is. Structurally, we're again playing really, really good hockey. We got to the net more Saturday than we had all season. The kid was just lights out, and I think the silver lining obviously is you go on the road and you outplay a top 10 team 2 nights in a row and you don't get the result. You just got to stick with it. You just got to stick with it and stick to the process. It's cliche. You hear every coach say, stick to the process, results will come, but that's really all we can do right now.
In terms of the 1-goal situations when you're up 1 Air Force game Friday against CC, are you going to change personnel? Are you going to change strategy?
I already have changed personnel, and it's just managing the puck. It's not strategy. It's we had a puck on our stick at Air Force in the offensive zone without their goalie pulled, and we literally shot it into our zone. Like, we tried to make a play. You don't make a play, you eat it. You eat clock. That game was over. Saturday or Friday against CC, we had a puck on our stick in our zone, and our guy made the decision to try and score in an empty net, and he iced it. We never got it out. And you chip it out, you gain zones, you make them come through 5. You got to get to the red, and then you can try and score. But so it's mismanagement of pucks. It's not strategy. It's not anything other than just bad decisions by the guys that have been on the ice, and they're all guys that have closed out games. We know how to close out games. We did it every game last year. We never got scored on once 5-on-6. It is what it is. We've really been able to obviously focus on the importance of it now. So our guys know, it's all about gaining zones, and you get the red, you can shoot for the empty net. Until you get the red, you can't. Just mental toughness. It's that simple. Mental toughness.
Has your stance changed on the goalie campaign after this past week?
Right now, Pav's playing better hockey. I think that's pretty clear. We still believe in Gibby. Gibby's a great goalie. He's a great kid. But right now, Pav, the sample size, he's played better. He's been a little bit more calm and steady. I didn't like Gibby's game on Friday. I really liked Pav's game on Saturday.
Coach, we watched some small area stuff, trying to get 30 goals, so we went 3-on-3 at the end. What were you trying to focus on?
Well, we just obviously competing, scoring under pressure, scoring with little time and space, getting bodies to the net. We play another really, really high-end goaltender this weekend, so we have to get bodies to the net. We got to make it hard on him and try and get in his line of sight and make him, move and all the things that we're going to need to do to score. So that's what we're focusing on today and tomorrow, and we've flat out stunk in overtime this year. We were so good in overtime a year ago, and this year we have stunk. We have stunk. We should be 0-3. The only reason we're not 0-3 is because Gibby stood on his head in the overtime against Michigan. But we've been to 3-on-3 overtimes. We have really one scoring chance, and that was the scoring chance Silly had against Air Force. Ty Jackson hit a post on Friday, and then they went down and scored. But, we really haven't controlled possession like you need to in 3-on-3 and played it the way that you need to play it. You got to be patient. You have to possess the puck. You can't take risks, because when those risks don't pay off, you're going to give up an odd man opportunity, and teams are going to make you pay. So patience is a huge virtue in 3-on-3 hockey.
This is a Nebraska team that won their first 2 games and now kind of struggled as a team. How do you keep your guys focused and knowing, hey, this is still a good team which makes sense?
They know. Everybody in our league is a good team, and we played Omaha so much over through the years. They're a really good team. They're going to come in desperate. They're going to come in hungry, and our guys know that. And so we have to, not match that desperation and hunger. We have to surpass it. And if we do, we like our chances. We're playing very good hockey. We really are. And that's the thing that we can't lose sight of is from a structure standpoint, from an effort standpoint, everything's there, right? And I know you guys are talking about, we had 4 of our top 6 players out Saturday. Like, that's legitimate. You're struggling to score goals and structurally you're good and you're competing and you're in every game, we got some big time guys out, and that's just the reality of where we are right now. And I don't know if they're going to be back Friday or not. We won't know until later in the week. And but we have guys that are getting the opportunity and they're competing and they're doing everything they can to get the result that we want. And at the end of the day, we have to find a way to deliver.
We're just going to get there. What are the injuries?
Yeah, we don't know. Shim and Silly are day to day. Two huge losses. I mean, Lucas Sillinger's the active points leader in all of NCAA hockey. So you lose him, in the middle of the week last week, and don't get to take him on the road. It's obviously a big loss. And Bennett Shimmick has by and large been our best player. And he took a hit early in the game on Friday and couldn't finish the weekend. And we don't know if he'll be back. We hope he'll be back. It'll be touch and go. We won't know until Thursday. Cruz is going to be out until second semester, but he will be back. And that's somebody that's projected to be your best player. And our roster was built not to be missing our best player for half the season. And Charlie Shane, you'd have to ask him. I have no idea what's going on.
With you being so thin on the floor and your top six are playing quite a substantial amount of minutes than your bottom six guys, is that because of injury, or is that looking?
Well, our depth. I mean, your fourth line is done it. They've done their job, and they're getting 7-8 minutes a night. You'd like to see maybe that get to 10. But the problem with distributing ice time the way you want is we haven't gotten out to any leads. So when you get out to a lead, then you can play your bottom six because they play the right way, they play hard, they get pucks out, they get pucks in, they forecheck, they defend, they have good sticks. That's where they provide their value. You're not going to put your fourth line out there when you need a goal to tie it, or you're chasing a 2-goal deficit. So really, other than in that very first Air Force game, we haven't had the opportunity to distribute ice time the way you want because you're always playing from behind.
Do you think that could have you seen those top six guys getting maybe more winded, or do you think that could have more?
Not even a little. They weren't even winded. They weren't winded at all, even in altitude. There was no wind. I mean, anyone that watched that game on Saturday, we should have won. We were the better team.
How big is
we all played.
Having Braxton real next year with the new rule change? How big is that for the program?
It's big. It's going to be nice. I can't mention names until they're signed, but I can tell you that the one kid that you just asked about won't be the only CHL player on our roster next year.
What about you, Mohammed? You got him on the center line with the injuries, some power play time, or some 5 time. What do you like from him this year?
I liked parts of his game. I liked parts of his game. I didn't like how he tried to score in the empty net. He's a smarter player than that. Now, he was out there because he's been so good in our knee zone and so good on the wall and so poised with the puck. He hasn't made really any mistakes from a turnover standpoint. He just got a little bit of a brain fart there, and if he just chips that out, we're going into Saturday, trying to sweep. So again, these are all things early in the season that this team can learn from. We're going to be in those positions a lot, where we're up and we need to ice a game. Because we have a really good team, and we know that. We haven't lost faith in that. It's frustrating because we know our record could at least be flipped right now. At least, and maybe even more. It's just the mental mistakes, and nobody's hemmed us in. Nobody's really, outchanced us or outshot us drastically at all, if any. We're giving up goals off of just mental mistakes, and whether it's the first goal Saturday night, veteran guys on the ice letting in 2 guys behind them on the PK and scoring on a 2-on-0, or in the second period our best killer, doesn't get a puck out on the kill and fans on a clear, and then our D change and we get a 3-on-0 and Pav makes a big save to keep us in the game. Those are the mistakes that we're making that are costing us, the results that we want. It's not structure. It's not anything other than just boneheaded mistakes that for the most part, veteran guys just can't make if we're going to have success. I mean, they're guys that have been here that we know can do it, you know, and they're put in those positions because we believe in them, and they've been successful in those positions prior. You know, it's just mental toughness it's a weird thing, you know, and it all starts in practice. You know, if a guy fans on a pass or a guy doesn't catch a pass, and the guy that leads the next rep's got to correct that. It can't be contagious, right? And right now, I think we're letting some mistakes become contagious, and that's, to me, mental toughness.
Coach, you guys haven't played at home since Michigan. How excited are you and the guys now?
I mean, that's the other thing. Like we talk about, you know, nobody's really talking about the guys we have out, and the 8 of 10 on the road is that's a gauntlet. That's a huge gauntlet. Now, if you count the NTDP games, the exhibition games, we have 10 of our next 12 here. So, like we told the guys today, it's time to make hay. It's time to make hay. We have a team that can do it. We fully intend to.
A conference can provide more of those road games, though. How do you kind of get that worked out? It's going to be a conference.
Yeah, you're going to go on the road more, but you're never going to go 8 out of 10. We had to go 8 out of 10 on the road because we joined the conference at the 11th hour and before last season. So we had a full independent schedule contracted that we had to honor. And the way that it just the cookie crumbled is some of those games were pushed into this year to honor the back end of contracts, and most of them were on the road. So it was I guess you could call it a shit sandwich. You know, that's what it was. You know, and it wasn't anything other than just joining a conference at the 11th hour, which we weren't going to say no. Yeah. You know, but you'll see, you know, next year, you know, 10 non-conference games, 6 are at home. You know, and I think you can see that pretty consistently moving forward. You know, where hopefully we'll be at home 6 out of the first 10 or 8 out of the first 12. But it was a byproduct of how quickly we jumped in and had to juggle in future schedules.
So you don't
Yeah.
Now that you are kind of in the schedule, you knew it was going to be difficult. Now that you're in it, has your perspective on anything changed?
No, not at all. We've played 3 top 10 teams, and you know, we feel like we're right there with all of them. You know, and just a couple of mistakes that you make, puck management mistakes that are so easily correctable, and I know our guys have it in them not to make them. Like I said, our record could easily be flipped. We have to just focus on what's ahead of us, and that's Omaha. Our guys are still confident. Our guys still believe in each other, and we believe in them, and we're excited to come out and do it on Friday.
Into the decision to come here to ASU, how was the first part of the season kind of gone for you, and how do you feel like you're applying right now?
Yeah, to answer the first part, you know, this is my third school, and you know, transfer portal is pretty normal to me now, I guess you say. So it was a lot easier this time to go to a bunch of schools, and I had great conversations with you know, with Greg and Albie before he left. But yeah, I mean, it was more so, you know, everyone always talks about culture. You know, that's like the big thing around college hockey, around teams. You always build a good culture, and you know, I haven't really had the best experiences from freshman year to junior year. A lot of, you know, ups and downs, unfortunately, but more downs. But I just wanted to start somewhere new conference, NCHC, which is great. I've been in hockey these past 3 years, which great experience. Had a lot of fun, but changing up to here now is great. And yeah, but I feel like I'm playing well. You know, we're just trying to find a way to score goals. That's all. But they'll come. You need a little puck luck, and I know we're all in a locker room. We know what we have to do, and it'll come. It'll come around for sure.
As a veteran of college hockey, and now you're working with a guy like Gibson, like getting his first game starting, what's your relationship with him? What have you seen from him working for us?
Yeah, I think it's really cool because when I came in, I got to play with Matt Murray, who was the 5th year when I came in, and he was at Dallas for 2 years. Now he's in Nashville, which was awesome. So, you know, as I basically redshirted my freshman year too, technically. I mean, I got to be behind a vet, like really good guy, really good goalie. Being able to see the way he prepares for games, the way he is in games, very calm and moves well in that. So now I get to transfer that over. Now it's my turn, you know, kind of have that role. But I'm not like being big dog to him or anything. Like, Gibby's still a junior, he's a really nice kid, really good goalie, and, we get to bounce ideas off each other, what we see, so it's awesome. Because then I also have him to help me out too, never stop learning, so it's been fun.
How was it having a head coach that was a former goalie? Is that an advantage for you guys in that?
Yeah, Coach Powers, he honestly stays out of it. He's like, you know what, he's told me, it's past my time, you guys, I'm not going to tell you how to play. Prepare the way you have to prepare on and off the ice. So it's nice, we don't have to worry about a coach telling us what to do, which most goalies have experienced throughout their career. So it's great having a guy who's like, you know what, you do you, and let your results, let your play talk, So that's how it is.
Coach just said last weekend that now it's really anyone's job to take that starter position.
Yeah.
And whether you start Friday, Saturday, whatever games. How are you looking at it for the rest of the season?
Just take it game by game. Every opportunity I get is, could be your last. So you got to go and fight, and that's what you learn here in college hockey. It's really tough. You only play 36 games. It's not a lot at all. I'm a senior, and my 4 years flew. It's crazy. So you really have to take every opportunity you get, every chance, like it could be your last. And it's a cliche, a lot of people say it, but it is true. You never know, so you got to work hard every day in the weight room, eat right, sleep, and practice your butt off in practice. So that's my mentality.
Have you learned anything from Gibson Home? You said it's not just you being a big dog.
Yeah.
What have you learned specifically?
Yeah, coming in, I'm a very personable person. I'm not going to walk in like I'm the big shot, so I want to be friends with him. As tough as it is, because there's only one goalie that can play. It's not like players where you got 4 lines and 3 set of D. So we're I'd say we're really good friends for sure. On the ice, we're always laughing, having a good time, and whether it be, but you asked, what have I learned from him? I say more so it's on the ice. He gives me some tips, I give him some tips, whether it's movement, post work, a lot of goalie stuff you don't want to hear about. So yeah, but overall it's been great, and always have a good laugh. Even Zach Bryce and Chase Ham, all 4 of us were really close. So it's a great dynamic because it's not easy. I've seen goalies where it's not a good dynamic, where you're always butting heads, but that's just how hockey is, especially when you get to this standpoint of college hockey. It's right. You're almost there to the NHL, to the AHL, playing pro hockey, so it gets so difficult.
So it's been a collaborative tandem.
100%. Yeah. We've been going back and forth. He got 2 games in Michigan, and then after that, we just been flipping on and off. So it's a good dynamic. But now, since we're 10 games into the season, it's changing up, so it can go either way. That's why you always got to be ready. Yeah.
Like you said, it's switching up. How does that affect your confidence?
Well, we usually know the day before. They give us a heads up, so we're not wondering, right? But I prepare the same way whether I'm playing a game or not, because you never know. God forbid someone gets hurt. We don't want that to happen, or something gets pulled. It's the nature of the game. So you just always have to be ready, be prepared, and as a goalie, you got to have a short mindset. Whether you have a tough game, you got to forget about it. Just be ready, work hard in practice this week, and get ready to play the next game. Yeah.
Just talking to college, he's been very happy with how you played this season and this weekend especially. He said you preferred the game you played of the 2.
Okay.
What do you think has allowed you to, take it to the next level and maybe improve a little bit more? How did you feel about your
Yeah, I feel like progressively I've gotten better, starting at Air Force to now when we were at CC. Being a 4th-year guy, you kind of settle in. As a freshman, it's brand new. I was 19, so I was young, and I was nervous for my first game. But we've all played hockey. It's no different from any other game playing youth hockey to now. That's it's kind of a mindset too for me. So it's just having the right mindset as a goalie. You have to, because if you're a mental midget, you just can't make it far. You let in the goal, and then after that, 3, 2, 3, 4. You just got to be ready all the time. It's how it is for me.
How is it from a team standpoint? I know you guys have had a ton of injuries, some of your top players, but you guys are fighting through it very well, especially last weekend at CC. So what's the team mindset?
I don't think our record shows what kind of team we are right now. It's unfortunate. The Air Force loss was a tough one, and in Providence, I think we could have snuck one too, and especially at CC. So there's games there we we know we can win, but we just need to find a way to win. Right now, you know, we're not bearing down. We know what we have to do, and it's bearing down when it's last 10 minutes in the third period, and you know, just playing dump and chase hockey, get the puck out of the zone. So it's, you know, it'll come around. My first year juniors, our team started like 6-0, 7-0, and you know, we turned it around, and I got a really good feeling. I mean, we know what we have to do, and we're all hungry in the locker room. We want to win. Everyone hates losing, so it'll come full circle for sure.
For you personally, you've been back for a little bit now, and the key point of what Coach Power said for you is that you bring a lot in the face-off dot. What do you think has changed from a team-wide standpoint, face-off-wise, with you now in the lineup?
I think it's just, I don't think it's just me. I think we're putting way more work in with coaches on the face-off dot with centers, and I think we start with the puck way more now. I believe that against CC, I think the Friday night game, our face-off percent was like over 55%, so you start with the puck a little more, right? So you can create opportunities, make plays with the puck, so you're not chasing the game, right? I think just in general, coaches put a big emphasis on it, and everyone's trying to contribute. Not only the centers, the wingers, the defensemen. We got more of a plan now coming into the face-off dot, so I think we're benefiting from it, and hopefully benefiting down the road.
From a player's standpoint, what do you guys take out of the CC series?
You know, it was the first kind of league series for some guys, right? Like a lot of us played in the league before, like transfers and stuff, but some guys it was the first series for them, and you know, it's tough. It's tough to win, and it's way harder to sweep too. And like credit to CC, you know, they found a way. Like we outshot them, and it's all good and it looks good, kind of. But the thing, like the points, that's what matters the most. But on the flip side for us, you know, the process too. Like we know that we can compete with those teams, and we can outplay those teams certainly. Now we got to put it into, you know, the stat standpoint, and get our 3 points when we can, right? So, you know, closing that game on Friday out at CC would have been crucial for us, but it's definitely a learning lesson, you know, and playing college for a couple years already, like, you know that those games, like, they help you, and you'd rather have this game right now than have it, let's say, in March.
How refreshing is coming home now for 2 games?
Oh, it's unbelievable for me. You know, we came when I was at Northern. We came and played here, and it was incredible atmosphere. And then sitting in the stands against Michigan, you know, you kind of feel the atmosphere as well. And you know, we're super excited to be home. Home crowd, I think, is going to be a packed arena on Friday, and we have a great opponent, and we're looking forward to it.
You're the team leader in time on ice, and just the 4 games you've been back, you've been playing a pretty substantial amount of minutes. How have you felt about just the load you've had to carry out there?
I think it's honestly, it doesn't matter what time you put in on the ice, and you know, everyone gets on the ice, and it's how much you contribute, right? Some guys, like it's same all over the place. Like in NHL, some guys play 6-7 minutes the whole game, but their contribution is huge, right? They get there, they put the energy in, they bring the energy for the other guys. So for me, being on the ice a lot, you know, it's really good to feel that the coach trusts you, but also there's a lot of pressure on you. That's kind of, you know, I think us hockey players, we thrive in it. So being on the ice a lot helps us to get our confidence up and, you know, help the team in any way we can.
Something that showed up big against CC was your chemistry with Kerwin and some of the great passes that you guys are making back and forth. For 2 transfers coming into ASU and a new place, how have you kind of developed that chemistry so far?
So me and Kurz go way back, right? We played at Linka for Team USA like 5 years ago. I think like, I was a senior in high school. That's kind of the first time I got to know him. And then when he was coming here, and like I committed here, he committed here, you know, it was kind of like a couple phone calls, like, and right when he got here and we got here together in the summer, like we hit it off right away. We were roommates on the road at CC too, so you know it's interesting, you know, in hockey, like the guys that you like spend the most time with and have like good chemistry off the ice, it shows on the ice because you kind of can read and you understand where they're going, and that's part of hockey too. So yeah, no, it's great playing with him. He's one of the better players on our team, and he's making like substantial contributions on the ice for us.
You guys on the forward side so far this year, it's been a lot of good things, but you haven't gotten the results yet. Is there frustration? Is it difficult to have patience when the results aren't coming?
I think the good thing about us is we have an older team, right? We have 7-8 guys who played over 100 games of college hockey, and you know, I kind of Friday, not the result we wanted, but sitting in the locker room after, like maybe going on the bus to the hotel, like we're talking, and you know, it's like you've been on both sides of that game, right? You've been on the side where you're losing and you get a quick goal and you tie it up, you win in overtime, but you also been on that side. And you kind of learn as we go. So there's definitely no frustration on our team at all. We know what we have to do. You know, it's not like, I don't think we got outplayed any of the games that we had so far out of whatever 10 games we played, 10 games? Yeah, 10 games we played. We didn't get outplayed. So we know like we have what we need to get the result. Now it's just kind of getting over that hump and kind of getting the result we wanted and putting it into statistical perspective.
Kind of for you, what have you seen how your games progressed here throughout the college level and the FCC series?
I think a big thing is just thinking ahead. Like I've said before many times, faster. So you just got to think ahead, look before you get the puck. So I think that's probably the biggest thing right now. And I'm going to continue to progress on my shooting because I think I get some chances and I can bury some more pucks if I get better at shooting.
As kind of one of the younger guys on the team, well, probably the youngest, how has it been with, Coach kind of talked a lot about the mentality and some of these older guys, but what's the mentality of just trying to keep your head straight and not getting too, overwhelmed with how the season's kind of started?
Yeah, so the coach is just, he's always been supportive and he's always positive. So, I mean, even though we lost 2 games, I think he knows we played great. We should have won those games if we just buried some more pucks. So, he tries not to get too down on us because he knows we're all working hard. We're all trying to do the right thing. So, I say that.
Cullen, I know a lineman of yours, Pavicich, at the start of the year, he's now down with an injury. So how has it been playing with different guys and different guys kind of learning what you do and what they do as well?
Yeah, obviously it's always an adjustment, just learning to play with other guys. But I think it adjusted well. All the guys on the team moved the puck well, so it wasn't too hard to adjust.
Who are some of the favorite guys that you get to play with so far?
I thought it was pretty fun to play with the Jacksons. They move the puck well. I mean, obviously, we've been playing together the whole life, so they knew how to move the puck to each other and to me, so that was pretty fun. And obviously, I played with Kurz before. He's got a rip of a shot, so it's good to set him up sometimes, too.
You guys in the top 6 are playing a pretty substantial amount of more minutes than the guys in the bottom 6, and Power said that's just because you can't play those bottom 6 if you don't have a lead and get them the ice time. Has there been a general sense of really anything with you guys having to carry a pretty brunt of the load? I mean, you're the second time on ice forward and you're playing a lot of minutes as well, so what's that like?
I don't think it's too much of a burden for any of us. I mean, we all want to win. I think everyone on the team understands that. So, I mean, we're all trying to get that lead, like Coach Potter said. So, we're just going to keep working towards that, and hopefully the pucks go in, and we're always going to keep working to get better at that. So, I think everyone will be playing a lot.
For this team, they've played a lot of road games so far, and you in your first year of college hockey, what have you seen and maybe what have you learned from playing in these big road environments that you can take in their future games?
I mean, obviously just playing against like the student crowds and stuff like that is pretty cool. I mean, growing up, you're always on the road playing. Like when you're playing on light, you're traveling across the country and everything, so it's not too crazy, traveling, but playing against these bigger crowds is definitely a lot different, a lot more loud. So it's a really cool experience. But I mean, I'd love to be back in Mullet again. The rink's always electric and it's so fun. When we played Michigan, that was probably some of the best times of my life playing hockey. So.